D-Bow. This is week 8, Cross Crusade, Behind the Elements. This week, we look within, and we come inside the element for a live studio audience. There's no fucking studio. For a
live broadcast audience?
For a live broadcast audience. I'd like to welcome our first guest, Kiki Mensing. Hey, hi. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Got it. Did you fly in? Was your flight?
No, I like to drive. I like to do road trips.
Got it. You're like John Madden.
Yeah, it definitely gets me in the right frame of mind and everything. That half-hour drive really helps me out. Yeah.
Okay. So this is Kyle Mensing. Do you go by Kiki or Kyle?
I think professionally, Kyle, but I think a lot of people do know me as Kiki. That's like the
on the
name.
Weekend.
Yeah, that's like the name that like old people use, and they keep yelling it, so the new people keep picking it up. So it just sort of happens.
Yeah. Well, we're doing our part.
The first time I heard Kiki was the Kiki segment.
The Kiki Sprint?
Yeah, the Kiki Sprint.
The Kiki Sprint.
Can you tell me about the Kiki Sprint?
The Kiki Sprint is legendary. The Kiki Sprint is just one of the most contested sprints in the Portland area.
Really?
That's probably not true.
Is it on the Hawthorne Bridge?
No, it is not. But it's a really, you have to find it. You just have to stumble upon it.
Okay.
It is a very random sprint point, and you actually kind of don't know where it ends. Like, you have to do it a number of times
That's
to
by
realize
design?
like where. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things like, we took some people out on a ride, and we were doing this sprint, and they couldn't figure out where it ended. And so I'd sit up because I'd won, because I win every time. That's the whole point of the Kiki sprint. I don't win every time, but I wish I did. But I'd sit up, and they'd keep sprinting like I won, and I was like, no, dog, it's back there. It's just this weird. Yeah, you always keep them guessing.
It's probably also based on the accuracy of your GPS device.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
you might be the lucky guy whose GPS thought you were going faster.
There's been some GPS doping on the Kiki sprint segment. It's been a big point of contention for the Kiki sprint segment.
It's probably the only way to win, though, to beat you.
Yeah.
Is to cheat.
No, I'm sure people are faster than me. But I just try and keep it a secret so I stay on top.
Come on, no one's faster.
What's the Cross Crusade equivalent of the Kiki Sprint?
The Cross Crusade equivalent of the Kiki Sprint would be... Man, I'm just trying to think. It'd have to be where... Right after a barrier, it'd have to start directly after a barrier.
Because you're fast over the barriers?
It just has to come from like a dead stop. It's not, you can't roll into it, it's like luck of the stop. So it'd have to be right after a barrier, and then roll through to like a random puddle that only you're the one that's pointed that out from before. You're like, I'm going to that puddle, and that's the end of the sprint.
But I'm thinking like...
And then other people would sprint by you, but they're like, maybe that was that puddle back there.
What I'm thinking is that like, it would be a place where you're just better than everyone else. Like, where were you getting your gains? Like, think about, well, maybe in Bend. Like, you had that great race in Bend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where you get your gains. Did you have like those stairs you could just run up faster than everybody? Or
the stairs, I don't think I could run up them faster than anybody. I never passed anybody up the stairs. But after the stairs, I got on the bike, and I was heaving, but I felt like I could start. I felt like I'd get on the bike and start pedaling, and people would kind of go backwards there. But actually, I think the
flying through the parking lot. The
place that I passed a lot of people was that like lower bowl section with all like the off-camber turns. I felt really good in there.
Got it.
That was fun.
So the third place, getting on the podium, was kind of a milestone achievement for you. I
would say, yeah. That was, that'll stick with me for the rest of my career. It's my amateur career.
So, how do you feel like you've perfected your craft as an amateur cyclocross artist this season to get to that point?
Oh, this season. Well, what I do is I try to do as little as possible. That's how you perfect your craft as an amateur cyclist. If you can be fast without doing a whole lot of work, I think that's amateur status. That's like full on riding the wave of amateur status.
You have a lot to learn. I've been doing too much. How is your Toyota running?
The Toyota's good. I just put some money into it. Like, I just took it to a mechanic. They went through the whole thing, They said it was great, but they just changed all the fluids, checked everything. It's running really well. I'm really stoked on it. Actually, I just got gas, getting like 20 miles to the gallon in that thing. A V6, 89 V6 Toyota Tacoma, and I'm getting 20 miles to the gallon.
Wow.
I don't think it gets
That's
better than
unreal.
that.
Yeah, I'm getting 13 in my Cherokee. As of my last tank, 13 miles per gallon. I mean, I was, it's all city commuting miles.
I mean, I
going
know
around hill.
everybody is all about the Jeep life, but I mean,
Nobody's about the Jeep life,
I'm just a Toyota.
man. There's just a lot of them. So I rode in your Toyota last year after state championships, which is coming up next week.
Next week.
It's 1 week away from the 1 year anniversary of the one time I rode in Kiki's Toyota truck.
It's a good trip.
And I was left with one memory of that ride. This truck sounds like it's a 2017. You know what I mean? It does not sound like a 1989. It's the quietest, smoothest, old 80s truck I've ever been in my entire life.
Keep them clean. Keep them clean.
How do you do it?
I mean, it's lots and lots of doing nothing. Again, same way that I go through my amateur bike racing is, you check the oil infrequently, it's a little low. That's all right. That's just a little less, little less pressure on the engine. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Maybe top it off every 2 months. It's gonna leak a little bit. That's the point of a Toyota, is they're gonna leak a little bit. But you gotta let them leak. You gotta let them go through their cycles.
Yeah, it sounds like if you had advice to give to the rest of us, it's this: don't overcomplicate it.
Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. And then, every few years, take it into a mechanic and be like, all right, check this thing out. Unless you are.
Do you mean that as a metaphor for our lives or your Toyota?
Whew. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be learned from the Toyota lifestyle that really, really dig into our souls deeply. Just that sort of, the thing always wants to go out and, be out in the woods. But at the same time, somehow our lives draw us to the center of the city a little bit. So we do have to run, efficiently inside the city. But we always know that we can escape. It's always that ability to escape.
What's the equivalent of taking it to the mechanic every few years in our own personal lives?
You really gotta take some time. Maybe take like a week or two off of work, and have a good vacation, and just kind of I would say that's the mechanic for our lives. Looking inward, being like, how am I doing? Do I love my job? Everything good? Awesome.
Running good, and it keeps running good, as Kyle Mensing's life continues to run good.
Everything's always perfect.
How many miles? I mean, you're kind of like the equivalent of like a 89 Toyota with like 300,000 miles. It just seems like a 2017.
Possibly. Actually, my Toyota, I got a really good deal. It actually only has 91,000 original miles.
Huh.
So that would be one reason why it's probably running really well. I have to put back into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm lagging with more miles on my body, but then sometimes I feel sprightly.
I get that.
It's the same thing.
Not so much in the Honda Element, but okay, we can cut that out.
I do like Element. I took a 2-week road trip in Element, and it was awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, that's a keeper right there. Anything else, Dan?
No.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure racing against you in this series.
As you.
We have one more time coming up in about an hour and a half here.
Last one. Last hurrah.
The last hurrah. I'd like to say I don't care, but I probably will care once we're racing.
I tried to go into today being like, I'm relaxed. It doesn't matter. I can't move anywhere in the point scheme, and now I'm like, I got the butterflies a little bit. You know, I want to go check out the course.
Yeah, it's a good course for you. Yeah. I know you're fast on those straightaways, and this has a lot of them.
Good.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. Great luck out there today in race 8, and we'll see you at the start line, I guess.
Have a good race.
Okay.